I really hate doing stories about shooting and terrorism. I would much rather mock the liberal lunatics and dissect their deception piece by piece, but sometimes it gets so despicable that we have to get serious. Did you hear the story about the black man that walked into the predominantly white church in Tennessee last week, opening fire, killing one woman, wounding 6 others, including the pastor, in order to get revenge for Dylan Roof, the psycho white supremacist who did that to a predominantly black church 2 years ago in Charleston, South Carolina? Oh, you haven't heard about that story? Well, it happened over a week ago, so it's not like it's been overshadowed by the tragedy in Las Vegas. As many would say, it's being underreported or covered up. I mean, you would think that when a psycho walks into a church and tries to kill a bunch of people because they're a different race than him, that might be actually mainstream news, right? Well, not in this case, for a bunch of reasons, one of which we know from watching CNN that black people can't be racist and they don't harbor any hatred towards white people at all. Only white people are racist and commit hate crimes. Another reason is that this guy's a Sudanese immigrant from Africa, and from watching CNN we know that all immigrants who come to the United States, especially from war-torn countries, are just peaceful, loving people, and they don't commit any kinds of terrorism or mass shootings at all. The third reason is that someone in the church happened to have a concealed carry permit and was able to stop him, thankfully before he started killing more people, by pulling out his gun and shooting this dirtbag and disabling him and holding him until the police came. But if you think that the mainstream media is ignoring or underreporting this incident, then according to Newsweek, you're a racist. The Antioch church shooting has been overlooked because the suspect is black, according to alt-right conspiracies. It's just a conspiracy theory, guys. Yes, according to Newsweek, you're just an alt-right neo-Nazi KKK member if you think that the liberal media ignored this story because it doesn't fit their typical narrative. You may recall that after that dirtbag killed those black people in that church in South Carolina, the backlash against the Confederate flag began because he was seen posting photos of himself waving the Confederate flag. And it got so bad that even reruns of the Dukes of Hazzard were pulled from television because now it's considered to be racist. Some of you guys are probably too young to be aware of the significance of the Dukes of Hazzard, but for my generation, it was basically one of the biggest shows on television. Can't show it on TV anymore because their car, which is called the General Lee, also has a Confederate flag painted on the roof. Amazon.com and eBay also pulled all listings for the Confederate flag, which is interesting because they still sell the Antifa flag. By the way, speaking of the mainstream media burying stories that don't fit their narrative, remember last year when that psycho Muslim went and killed like 50 people at that gay club in Orlando, Florida? At the time, the biggest mass shooting in the United States. Well, the Obama Justice Department and the FBI redacted his calls to 911 and scrubbed any references to Allah, Islam, or ISIS. It was only after members of Congress pressured the FBI and publicly denounced them for covering up the true motive of the shooting that they released the full transcripts, which include him saying that he was doing this for the Islamic State, not just because he was a homophobe. But what else should we expect from the liberal establishment and the mainstream media, which are getting more despicable and deceptive every day? I'm Mark Dice, thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're new and check back here every day for new reports. Big thank you to everybody who supports me on Patreon and PayPal. I couldn't do this without you. Pretty much every video that I upload now is just demonetized as soon as it's uploaded and it's processed because YouTube automatically generates a transcript so they know exactly what is said in the videos, and then they scan the transcript for keywords and then they just demonetize because these videos are offensive or talk about sensitive subjects. So I appreciate everybody who's got my back. Couldn't do this without you. Stay tuned and I'll see you tomorrow.